At some time, you are studying some chapter of biology. Immediately after half an hour, just because you're bored, you'll take a physics numerical. After physics, you'll take up chemistry. After chemistry, you'll start PYQ of physics again.
Having attraction to your opposite sex or opposite gender. Now, as biology teachers, we wouldn't say that, oh my god, how can you do that? But then we know it's hormonal. Yeah, we know it's hormonal, we know it's natural at this age. But the problem with this is,
yes, bio is easy. It is only easy when you try to understand it and when you keep revising it. Because if you don't revise biology, it is going to be a nightmare.
Now students, please do understand, Google is not designed in such a way that it is preparing for NEET students. So their answers are going to be exactly what is there from a research paper or general information. So you are just going to get one word. But if you open the textbook, you will notice all the peptide hormones, all the steroid hormones. So please open NCERT when it is right in front of you.
Ma'am, I have noticed that some of our students keep repeating the same mistakes over and over, and they end up asking me the same thing. And I believe that all the students who are watching this lecture would also be in the same situation. Right, ma'am?
True, sir. There are a lot of things that, the students commit. Small mistakes that actually kill your rank and kill your preparation. And I think we should address it now because...
Exactly. Right, ma'am. So we should address all these mistakes which are very common. It may sound very simple, but it is not. Because it's always these small irregularities or small mistakes which make up your entire...
Yeah, it accumulates, so much that it ends up, making you take a drop.
Exactly. So I think we should address those mistakes. Students, this is Vasraj sir, this is Gopika ma'am, your biology master teachers.
Welcome to Vedantu NEET English. And do subscribe if you're new.
Exactly. And also like the video because if you want these type of contents. Right. So in this video, we'll be generally talking about all the mistakes which are very common in all the NEET aspirants. True. The first, I'll get it off, ma'am. I'll get the first one.
Sure.
The first one which I believe is actually very, very, very crucial is multitasking. I have noticed that at some time you are studying some chapter of biology. Immediately after half an hour, just because you're bored, you will take a physics numerical. After physics, you'll take up chemistry. After chemistry, you'll start PYQ of physics again. So that is called as multitasking, and there are two main problems with it. The first one is that it breaks your focus completely. Right, ma'am?
True. So I've also noticed this in our live classes. Have you seen this? They'll be in our class. Suddenly they'll move to another physics class in some other channel maybe or on the same same channel. It never happens, but something else.
Exactly.
Again they'll come back and then they'll be like, ma'am, did you already finish this much of the portions? Oh, now it's a backlog. So I will just leave the live.
So exactly, the first...
This is a loop.
Exactly, the loss of focus, and the second main thing is that you cannot track your progress there. For example, ma'am, you're watching Gopika Ma'am's class. Okay. Now you sit there for exact 1 hour. You know that in 1 hour this much is done now.
Yeah.
3 hours, molecular basis is over. 3.5 hours. The molecular basis is over. So you can track your progress when you are not multitasking. So I believe all of you stop multitasking. Stick to one
shot. One channel and also one shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
That is very crucial. Stop multitasking. It may sound very simple, it is not, but ma'am.
Okay. Now I want to say, sir, that most of the students think that, oh my god, I have read everything in physics, chemistry, biology, theory is enough. But you know what happens?
Exactly.
Students, there's a lot of difference between reading a storybook and actually narrating it to someone. It's a lot different.
Exactly. Ma'am.
No? So the same thing happens when you're answering a question. You might know the theory behind it, but you do not know to answer the question.
Exactly. And adding on to what ma'am said, yes, if you read only theory, you might be able to answer few questions.
True.
But if you really want to solve questions like AR questions, match the following, as well as certain questions which requires conceptual understanding, and imagine if you face such questions directly in examination, will that affect your rank or not?
Definitely. And now that they are going for a pre-COVID pattern, and if you have seen the questions in 2019, 18, 17, you will see most of the biology questions are conceptual. Like a person who has read the textbook cannot directly answer the question. You need to know every loop and hole of it.
You need to know the around NCERT now, not just the direct NCERT.
Exactly.
You need to around the NCERT. So that is the thing which I would... Ma'am, reading what you said, right? Only theory is enough. So what everyone does is, this is something called as passive reading. Now, what is passive reading? You always end up just highlighting, read, but you don't question it. You don't do active recall, right? So that is where the problem is. If you just keep on studying all the time, right? Instead of having something called as, flashcards, which will help you to jog your memory, doing mock tests, not doing mock tests, not solving PYQs, that is called as active recall. So if you don't do active recall, right, the memory doesn't store properly and it is lost very often.
So I also give students a tip for active recalling, which I used to do in masters, and because we know, in masters we just have a bundle of papers, like just information and information. Yeah, it's just information. So I used to always stand in front of the mirror and teach myself, and it used to always work because I'm like, okay, this is how I'm supposed to understand it.
Ma'am, that's actually called as flyman technique.
Yeah.
Flyman technique. When you teach it to yourself, because I'll tell you what is the advantage there, right? When you teach to yourself, you cannot lie to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot lie. You know exactly. If you're not able to teach yourself,
you don't know.
You don't know what is going on there, right?
Yeah, so that is it.
So apart from that, ma'am, anything which you want to address, like the most.
The thing is, I think many of them hesitate. Many teachers also hesitate to address this. But let me be very open, students. Having attraction to your opposite sex or opposite gender. Now, as biology teachers, we wouldn't say that, oh my god, how can you do that? Yeah. But then we know it's hormonal. We know it's hormonal. We know it's natural at this age. But the problem with this is, you start living according to another person's command. You wait for their time. Your time is never your time. You always be like, no, if he or she is talking to me, that is when I'm happy.
True.
This continues, and you will never know how 1 year went by, or how 6 months went by, 3 months went by. So if you are into any of this, I would request right now to stop all of this. And students, whoever it is, whatever it is, it will happen later in your life as well.
Exactly. So students, wait. That's all we want to say.
Yeah, wait.
You hardly a few months left, right? This February,
very precious.
February, March, April, 3 months. In this 3 months, your entire future can change if you do not let this distraction in your life. Apart from that, I believe one of the major distractions is phone, right?
Oh.
See, phone can be your good friend also as a bad friend also. Good friend because you can attend lectures, you can download notes, you can read important stuff.
Yes.
But there's something called Instagram, Facebook, or it could be Snapchat, or it could be any other application which can cause a major havoc in your life by killing your time.
True.
And it is like a slow poison, right? You may not realize it until it's too late. Now, how do we overcome this anyway?
Yeah, so as you told, it can be a friend or
the
other way around. Okay, everything has its own pros and cons. So students, what you can do is you can download apps like Forest app. Because what exactly happens is, let's say you keep a 2 hours timing, and that 2 hours you see that tree growing right in front. You wait for their time. Your time is never your time. You always be like, no, if he or she is talking to me, that is when I'm happy.
True.
This continues, and you will never know how 1 year went by, or how 6 months went by, 3 months went by. So if you are into any of this, I would request right now to stop all of this. And students, whoever it is, whatever it is, it will happen later in your life as well.
Exactly. So students, wait. That's all we want to say.
Yeah, wait.
You hardly a few months left, right? This February,
very precious.
February, March, April, 3 months. In this 3 months, your entire future can change if you do not let this distraction in your life. Apart from that, I believe one of the major distractions is phone, right?
Oh.
See, phone can be your good friend also as a bad friend also. Good friend because you can attend lectures, you can download notes, you can read important stuff.
Yes.
But there's something called Instagram, Facebook, or it could be Snapchat, or it could be any other application which can cause a major havoc in your life by killing your time.
True.
And it is like a slow poison, right? You may not realize it until it's too late. Now, how do we overcome this anyway?
Yeah, so as you told, it can be a friend or
the
other way around. Okay, everything has its own pros and cons. So students, what you can do is you can download apps like Forest app. Because what exactly happens is, let's say you keep a 2 hours timing, and that 2 hours you see that tree growing right in front of you, and you will be not able to access any other applications. So, and if you want to stop, let's say 1.5 hours, you're like, no, I'm bored, I want to stop. The entire tree will die right in front of you, and this kind of makes you feel that, oh no, I grew this tree from scratch.
And like, it's gone now.
Yeah, it's gone now. So and you can collect points also. And
so it's a free app, ma'am?
Yeah, it's a free app.
Okay. So try downloading this app called as Forest app.
Forest app, yeah.
So where you can grow trees by switching on that app on. So if you switch off the app to do something else, the tree will die.
Yeah.
So this could be a best way to avoid distractions on your phone when you're not studying or something on it.
And it's good, no, sir, like you keep a 3 hours timing, even when you're like in our lectures also. What happens is, you're on YouTube and then a lecture is playing, suddenly a notification comes that this Bollywood may this
Gone.
happened,
Got
or the Tollywood this happened,
Gone,
okay?
gone.
Yeah, or Pushpa movie got released, okay? See the review of it. And suddenly it is human tendency to click on that because that is entertaining.
That is more, releasing more dopamine in your brain.
Yeah. So that's why students, we tell you that, when you're in batches or when you're with us in the live classes, the other way. So we feel like, okay, we can focus more and we don't have to, continuously tell you that students reply in the chat, answer the questions.
Exactly. The reason we ask you to keep replying in the chat is because we want to keep your interest peak. If you don't keep on replying, there's a very high chance that you just close it and go away.
Exactly.
So answer in the classes, be more proactive in the classes. Right?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. One more thing, ma'am. Keep studying without revision.
That is also a
Made a
big
mistake,
mistake.
right?
So I was talking to one of a student who has taken a 3 to, this is her 4th drop.
Okay.
Which is, that means how much pressure she'll be at.
Yeah.
4th
The
drop
mental
is
pressure.
it's not an easy thing. I know many of you wouldn't even take the guts to go for it, but the student has taken, and I know the student for past now 1 year, 1.5 years.
Okay.
So I asked her, what is the biggest mistake that you found in your preparation? And she told me, ma'am, not practicing mock tests, because I thought that practicing would just waste my time, but instead I could just sit and study for that time.
Exactly.
And every drop was a learning for her. But students, I would say, take your mock test as a learning. Don't take every NEET as a learning, right? Because your time is getting wasted. And life is also getting wasted.
Learn from the mistakes which have already been committed.
Yeah.
We don't want you to commit the same mistakes. So in a subject like biology, which demands constant remembering the terms, remembering different entire terminologies, processes, it requires more dedication. Yes, bio is easy. It is only easy when you try to understand it and when you keep revising it. Because if you don't revise biology, it is going to be a nightmare. Let me tell you a simple example: plant growth regulators or plant hormones. If you don't learn the plant hormones, what is auxin does, gibberellins, cytokinins does, you will end up losing marks for sure in examination.
Same way chemical coordination.
Chemical coordination, same way. So if you don't revise biology, it's going to be a tough thing.
Yes.
I believe the same goes for physics, numericals, chemistry,
reactions.
So there are few things every subject demands extra. So try fulfilling that rather than aimlessly studying everything else.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am?
Students, so connecting to this, I would say, nowadays, students has become like this Googling over studying.
Oh yeah.
Like any question you ask them, you will always notice that they take a few seconds gap to Google it. I'm not telling all the students do that. There are definitely a lot of genuine students who are attending all our one-shot lectures.
They know the answer.
They know the answers because one-shot, we try to do everything in detail. It's not superficial. You can go and check any of our one-shot videos, especially the recent ones.
Especially the recent ones.
Backlog series,
the 3D which we have done and everything.
Yeah, all the diagrams we have tried to draw, show it in 3D. So I think any student who's looking for one-shot, please check our backlog series. They are amazing.
They're gold.
Yeah, they're gold. And students, it's for free. So obviously, you can just click on it.
So
what I was trying to say is Googling, sir.
Googling. Oh my God. So students, it's a very, very natural tendency to know everything. Right? As soon as you do not know something, what you do is, rather than reading the NCERT, you'll end up Googling the answer. We'll give a quick example. Right? For chapter biomolecules, if I ask you any example, if you just Google, you'll get the answer. But what if you open the NCERT at that time and try looking at the table? There is a very high chance that you will look at other examples also. You will learn more and more. Yes, right, ma'am?
Same thing happens with hormone receptors. So
Yeah.
there's a small portion in chemical coordination. But students have a very high tendency that, we ask them a steroid hormone or a peptide hormone. They're like, they search. Now, students, please do understand, Google is not designed in such a way that it is preparing for NEET students. So their answers are going to be exactly what is there from a research paper or general information. So you are just going to get one word. But if you open the textbook, you will notice all the peptide hormones, all the steroid hormones. So please open NCERT when it is right in front of you.
Instead of just Googling everything out.
Yes, sir.
So stop Googling.
Yes.
Now the last thing which I want to address here is the most crucial. Now one thing which I feel every student will get offended by this, okay? I'm very sure they'll be like, no sir, I'm not doing it and all. That is giving excuses, ma'am.
Oh, yes.
Giving excuses.
I think our students are pro at it, no?
Especially
pro
our students,
maths.
because I'll do it simple. We'll send a message in Telegram. Like if you don't know Telegram, this is biology and biology by Gopika, ma'am. So when we send messages in Telegrams, we video and send a message, like a video. Okay, simple message, like a video. you'll give excuse, sir. I have to open the app. I have to, like, spend some 1080p on that.
And you know what's the funniest thing? They like on the Telegram that message they like.
They like that, but not on the YouTube.
They don't like it on YouTube, and they think that, ma'am, like, are you really earning money because we are liking? Students, please do understand, if you like our video before the class, there is a high chance that many students will be aware of this.
Exactly.
So it works like that. Like, YouTube does not work because I'm sharing the video to you on Telegram.
Yeah. Video, it's YouTube algorithm is, if you like the video, it gets recommended to other people.
Yes.
So that aside, ma'am, that aside, giving excuses to students. If I ask you to study this chapter, do PYQ today, 50% of you will not do. 50% will keep waiting for some magic, some questions to come.
Or you will go for another class and think that, okay, if I watch this one short lecture, that means I'm actually saving a lot of time and learning a lot of things instead of solving a PYQ that I already, like a chapter that I already learned.
No. So it could be in any way. Please stop giving excuses to yourself, because there's a very high chance that you're giving excuse to yourself to make you feel better that, yes, I know everything. It doesn't work like that. Yes. So at least at this point, right, just listen to your teachers, because we are here for many years. We are been teaching a lot of students, right? Many of our students have become doctors. So this is your chance right now to stop any type of excuse, right? And stick to the plan, because next 3 months, as I told already, if you work really hard, right, we do not want you to become a dropper. That's the only thing which we want from our side.
Yes.
Right, ma'am?
And I think those students who are droppers right now would be thinking, or the ones who want to write the exam next year would be thinking that, ma'am, I really want to ask help, but I'm very hesitant because I think that on YouTube people are going to judge me because I put a comment. Definitely, even I have felt that, like, I want to ask about, let's say, skincare to someone. I wouldn't put it on the comments because I'm hesitant. So many people are watching it. So students, we totally understand that YouTube is a medium where you cannot ask everything that you're going through, personal things.
Exactly.
So we have decided, that is, our entire NEET English team has decided to sit and curate a very, very important thing, that is a one-on-one mentorship.
Yes, so I'm glad you brought it up, ma'am.
Yeah.
So what we have planned here is, I think it's still on the way. We're still thinking. So we do not know if we want to do it still, because again, if we do it, if students are not interested in it, there's no point. Right. So this is the general idea right now. We're still working on it, logistic and everything behind it. We are going to take around, let's say, around 10 to 15 to 20 students, okay, in a batch, free of cost. First of all, free of cost. We will take these students with us.
And we're going to mentor
them. When we say mentor, we will talk to you. You will talk back to us. You can see us. We can see you.
Yes.
It is going to be more of a Zoom call entire scenario.
And so will 20 also be in one class? No. Right?
So we want it to be as private as possible, because we want to connect to students at a personal level. We want to know what are their problems. We want to know what is lagging behind the preparation. And I believe no one has ever done it on YouTube, where for YouTube students, they're doing this.
Yes.
So we are here on our channel. We have decided this to make it happen.
And let me also give you some details, because you will be asking, ma'am, how can I? Students, it is first come, first serve, because as you know, we cannot definitely cater to a bigger crowd because the entire month we'll have to be doing that, but we have classes and other commitments. So what we are planning to do is, we take a small batch of 5-6 students in one class, and we'll be talking to them face to face. Now, to do that, or you want to be a part of it, especially I would recommend 2026 crowd, because we have an entire year to change everything about your preparation. There will be a Google form which is given in the description box of this video. Click on the form, fill your details, and automatically you will be registered when the mentorship starts.
Okay. So once you join that, you will get a notification, and you will get a message regarding the next procedure.
Timing and everything.
So we will look forward for it. Right?
Yes.
So you watched the video till now. If this video was useful to you, let us know in the comment section which is the next topic which you want us to discuss here in a podcast manner.
Yes, because I think this is more connectable than...
Let me tell you, students, yes, we wrote few points in mind, but this is so organic, there's nothing planned. We just put on the camera and we just started talking. So this is called the unfiltered version of us. Yes. Right, when you talk to us.
If you want more unfiltered version, just put podcast in the comments.
Yeah, podcast in the comment, and which topic you want us to talk about.
Yes.
Okay. So students, smash the like button if you're
new to the channel. And also subscribe to the channel.
So we'll see you in the next video.